quite well. We are now going to show you the method of carrying the janazah over the shoulders as directed by the Sharia. Begin with your right shoulder from the right shoulder of the mayyit. Move to the right foot. Then walk behind to the left foot of the mayyit. And finally, move to the left shoulder of the mayyit. It is sunnah to repeat this as many times as it is possible. Therefore, walk behind the janazah to come back to the right shoulder of the mayyit. This method is preferred. It is not wajib. The janazah is carried with the head of the deceased in the front and the soles of the feet facing the Mominins in the procession. It is makruh to walk ahead of the janazah because the idea is to follow it. When the janazah is being carried to the qabristan, it is not wajib to recite kalima. In different countries, there are different practices. Some recite surahs from the Holy Quran. Some recite Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. To Allah we belong and to Him is our return. Or some recite the kalima. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Muhammadur Rasulullah. Aliyyun waliyullah. There is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his prophet. Ali is the beloved of Allah. It is sunnah to carry the janazah at a slow pace. Our Sharia has emphasized that people in the funeral procession should not engage in worldly conversations. Where the qabristan or cemetery is far away, it may not be possible to carry the janazah on our shoulders all the way and to follow it on foot. In such cases, the janazah may be carried in a car. However, arrangements can always be made to carry the janazah part of the way from a point near the graveyard. Just before approaching the grave, where the body will be laid to rest, it is sunnah to put down the janazah and lift it again. This should be repeated 3 times. The first time, the second time, and the third time, when the janazah is close to the grave where the mayyat is to be buried. A dead should be buried. The grave must be deep enough to prevent the mayyat from being exposed by a slight dispersal of earth or a little rain. It should be 5 to 6 feet deep. The length of the grave should be long enough to enable the body to be laid to rest straight. That is, the length of the grave should be at least the height of the deceased. It should be dug in such a way that the length should be at right angles to the direction of the Qibla. Within the grave, it is sunnah to dig another cavity which is known as lahad. The lahad should be deep and wide enough to accommodate a person in the sitting position, grave, the coffin itself serves as the lahad. For a female mayyit, the janazah should be put down lengthwise and on the right hand side of the grave. It is sunnah that there should be some people in the grave to receive the body as it is lowered. It is sunnah for these people to be bareheaded and barefooted. Before lowering a female mayyit into the grave, it is recommended that a piece of cloth should be spread over the grave so that the shrouded body is not very much visible. Not to lower the body into the grave sideways. For a male mayyit, the janazah should be put down at the foot end of the grave. It is sunnah to lower the body into the grave head first. Is finally lowered into the grave, the back of the body should be kept against the wall of the grave, and that the body should be lying on its right hand side, so that the face and the front of the body are facing the Qibla. In the grave, it is sunnah that a mound of earth should be made for the head as far as the cheek to rest on it as a support. The body has now been finally lowered into the grave. When lowering the body into the grave, it should be done in such a way that the face and the body are facing the Qibla. This is important. Notice that the back of the body has been kept against the wall of the grave, and that the body is lying on its right hand side, so that the face and the front of the body are facing Qibla. When the body is to be buried with a coffin, the correct positioning of the body should be done before the coffin is lowered into the grave. A mound of earth has been kept under the head as far as the cheeks as a support. The strips of cloth at the top end, the bottom end, and round the waist should be untied. While the grave is still open, it is sunnah to read the talqeen. This is a reminder to the departed of his or her faith and serves as the final inculcation. When the talqeen is being read, the body should be given a slight jerk by the man holding the shoulders when the name of the deceased is called out. This happens on 4 occasions.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اسمع افهم، اسمع افهم، اسمع افهم يا محمد بن علي. هل أنت على الأحد الذي فارقتنا عليه من شهادة أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأن محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله عبده ورسوله وسيد النبيين وخاتم المرسلين وأن عليا أمير المؤمنين وسيد الوصيين وإمام افترض الله طاعته على العالمين وأن الحسن والحسين وعلي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والقائم الحجة المهدي صلوات الله عليهم أئمة المؤمنين وحجج الله على الخلق أجمعين وأئمتك أئمة هدى أبرار. يا محمد بن علي، إذا أتاك الملكان المقربان رسولين من عند الله تبارك وتعالى وسألاك عن ربك وعن نبيك وعن دينك وعن كتابك وعن قبلتك وعن أئمتك، فلا تخف ولا تحزن، وقل في جوابهما: الله جل جلاله ربي، ومحمد صلى الله عليه وآله نبي، والإسلام ديني، والقرآن كتابي، والكعبة قبلتي، وأمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب إمامي، والحسن بن علي المجتبى إمامي، والحسين بن علي الشهيد بكربلاء إمامي، وعلي زين العابدين إمامي، ومحمد باقر علم النبيين إمامي، وجعفر الصادق إمامي، وموسى الكاظم إمامي، وعلي الرضا إمامي، ومحمد الجواد إمامي، وعلي الهادي إمامي، والحسن العسكري إمامي، والحجة المنتظر إمامي. هؤلاء صلوات الله عليهم أجمعين أئمتي وسادتي وقادتي وشفعائي، بهم أتولى ومن أعدائهم أتبرأ في الدنيا والآخرة. ثم اعلم يا محمد بن علي أن الله تبارك وتعالى نعم الرب، وأن محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله نعم الرسول، وأن أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب وأولاده الأئمة 11 نعم الأئمة، وأن ما جاء به محمد صلى الله عليه وآله حق، وأن الموت حق، وسؤال منكر ونكير في القبر حق، والبعث حق، والنشور حق، والصراط حق، والميزان حق، وتطاؤر الكتب حق، والجنة حق، والنار حق، وأن الساعة آتية لا ريب فيها، وأن الله يبعث من في القبور. أفهمت يا محمد بن علي؟ ثبتك الله بالقول الثابت، هداك الله إلى صراط مستقيم، عرف الله بينك وبين أوليائك في مستقر من رحمته. اللهم جاف الأرض عن جنبه، واصعد بروحه إليك، ولقه منك برهانا. اللهم عفوك عفوك.
We will now give the translation of Talqeen.
Listen and understand. Listen and understand. O Muhammad, son of Ali, are you on the covenant upon which you departed from us, bearing witness that there is no God but Allah, one and having no partner, and that Muhammad, peace be upon him and his progeny, is his servant and messenger, Lord of the prophets and last of them, and that Ali, commander of the faithful, Lord of the vicegerents, an Imam whose obedience is ordained by Allah, and that Hassan and Hussein, and Ali son of Hussein, and Muhammad son of Ali, and Jafar son of Muhammad, and Musa son of Jafar, and Ali son of Musa, and Muhammad son of Ali, and Ali son of Muhammad, and Hassan son of Ali, and the Qayyam the Hujjat, Al-Mahdi, peace from Allah be upon them all, are Imams of the believers and proofs of Allah upon His creatures, and are your Imams, the guided ones and virtuous. O Muhammad, son of Ali, when the two angels descend upon you as messengers from Allah and ask you about your God, your Prophet, your religion, your book, your Qibla, and your Imams, do not panic or hesitate, and say in reply, Allah is my God, my sustainer, Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his progeny, is my Prophet, Islam is my religion, Quran is my book, Kaaba is my Qibla, and that commander of the faithful, Ali bin Abi Talib, is my Imam, Hassan bin Ali, the chosen one, is my Imam, and Hussein bin Ali, the martyr of Karbala, is my Imam, and Ali, the splendor of the worshippers, is my Imam, and Muhammad, the disseminator of the Prophet's knowledge, is my Imam, and Jafar, the truthful, is my Imam, and Musa, the patient one, is my Imam, and Ali, deferential to the will of Allah, is my Imam, and Muhammad, the generous and the guarded one, is my Imam, and Ali, the pure one and the guide, is my Imam, and Hujjat, the awaited one, is my Imam. Those, peace be upon them all, are my Imams, my lords, my leaders and my intercessors. My love is for them all, and I disassociate myself from their enemies, here and hereinafter. Then know, O Muhammad, son of Ali, that Allah is the best Lord, and that Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his progeny is the best Prophet, and that Ali bin Abi Talib and his 11 infallible sons are the best Imams, and that whatever Muhammad, peace be upon him and his progeny, brought is true, and that death is certain and true, that the questions of Munkar and Nakir in the grave are certain, that resurrection is true, that Mizan, the scale of deeds, is true, that hanging of the books of deeds round the necks is true, that heaven is true, and hell is true, that the day of judgment shall undoubtedly dawn, and that Allah will raise the dead from the graves. Did you understand, O Muhammad, son of Ali? May Allah keep you steadfast on this faith, and keep you on the right path. Be it known between you and your masters in the eternity of His grace. O Allah, cause the earth to make way for him on both the sides, and raise his soul unto you, and show him the manifest evidence, O Allah, your pardon, your pardon.
Packed with earth, planks of wood are used to cover the lahad. It is sunnat for those standing near the grave, except the close relatives, to sprinkle earth into the grave. But this should not be done in handfuls. The earth must be taken with the back of the hand and sprinkled into the grave. This method is sunnat. Completely filled up. It is sunnat to make the grave in a rectangular shape, and the top leveled flat, without a mound or a monument. The grave should not be raised to exceed a height of 4 fingers put together, that is, about 4 inches above the level of the ground. It is sunnat for the wali of Mayyit to sprinkle water over the grave, using a watering can. He should face the Qibla and begin from the top end, going round the grave. Once this has been done, it is sunnat for all Moominin to recite Fatiha. The hadith says that we must recite Surah Fatiha once and Surah Qadr, that is, Inna Anzalna, 7 times, and seek forgiveness from Allah for the departed. It is sunnat to spread the fingers on the grave leaving the imprint as you recite the Fatiha. The family of the dead, before and after the burial. One may not utter words to express one's condolence. The mere attendance at an assembly or a sitting where people have gathered to share the grief is enough. Such sittings are normally known as Fatiha Khani, where people recite the Holy Quran and du'as for the benefit of the deceased. It is advisable not to sit in the mourning for more than 3 days. It is sunnat to provide food to the bereaved family for 3 days without sharing with them at their residence. If it is feared that belated condolences may freshen the memory of the departed and add to the grief of the bereaved, it is better to avoid it. And followers of the Ahlul Bayt, there is a great consolation for the bereaved. In the tragedy of Karbala, one can draw solace in respect of one's own losses. Imam Hussain alayhi salam, in the dignified manner, showed us how one must resign and submit to the will of Allah. Islam does not stop us from mourning our dead, but at the same time it forbids us to carry it to an excess by uttering words of complaint or despair, by tearing off one's garments, or by other expressions of uncontrolled grief. We as survivors have been advised to remember the departed with kind words and pray to Allah for their forgiveness. This can be done by offering Fatiha, reciting the Holy Quran, and giving alms to the poor on their behalf. As our spiritual endowments to the men and women who have completed their life cycle on this earth and have entered a life of reward or retribution. We have now come to the end of the last rituals offered to men. The Holy Quran says,
منها خلقناكم وفيها نعيدكم ومنها نخرجكم تارة أخرى.
From it we have created you, and to it you shall be returned, and from it again we will raise you. To sum it up, it is a story of men created from dust, consigned to dust. But according to Islam, the story does not end on a pessimistic note. Life after death is the beginning of a new experience, an experience of life in its new dimension. As we have seen, Islam regards death with great respect and solemnity. The services given to the dead are conducted with love, sympathy, and respect he deserves. At the same time, Islam enjoins upon us to take every occasion of death as a lesson to ourselves. For the dead have preceded us, and we are one day destined to follow them. May Allah guide us all to the right path. Ameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد